stories
Oh,
like we figured with Ebola and everything else that's going on in this world, why don't we just talk about why don't we just talk about things that are not that serious?
not
Like,
that serious.
yeah, I'll tell you here, a storefront church in Greenwich Village in New York City was luring converts into its teachings by offering as communion drink a legal LSD-like drug.
Huh. Very interesting. Very nice.
Very
Jeez.
nice. Or here, Sister Lesky, a 57-year-old Roman Catholic nun, was fined $500 in Austria for strangling a kitten to death with a cord after he meowed too loudly in the convent.
Wow.
Now you know why the show is boring tonight.
Well, let's try to talk about something that might spruce it up a little bit.
Well, I told Mark that thanks to Ebola, there are no more problems in the world, according to CNN. That's the only thing you see on their radio, on their station, is Ebola.
Oh, they're making such a big deal over it. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. I mean, at least they could have, show some other news what's going on. You don't see anything else.
No, it's amazing, Ebola. I just came back from Ohio, and it's amazing how people freaked out and say, "Didn't you hear there was a case in Ohio of Ebola?" And they're like looking at me like I was, like, "Oh my God, I'm infected," just because I visited Ohio for a few days. So, I mean, geez.
You should have walked around with a mask around on your face, you know?
I didn't even know until I came back home. They go, "Didn't you go to Ohio?" I'm like, "Yeah, so." Well, the case was out there. Did you hear about it? Like, no. I didn't know anything about it.
I didn't hear anything
It's
about
all
it.
over the news.
Listen, so far one person passed away. He wasn't, he was too far gone.
Well, that was a tragedy. I mean, it was misdiagnosed from the beginning, you know. I don't even think the emergency room doctors were thinking of Ebola at the time, but certainly after he came back again and was treated, then you have the nurse who treated him, and now the second nurse who's at Emory. They moved her to Emory, you think that 2 or 3 cases makes an epidemic,
Yeah, well, the news certainly, I believe, won't have a portion here in the United States for happening here. I mean, one case here, and out of 100 people here. I mean, geez.
Well,
look, they say that you gotta, treating it here, you gotta treat it in West Africa, because invariably what you're gonna have is you're gonna have people who are traveling from West Africa to various countries, like that cruise ship. All right, there's a cruise ship that was bound for Brussels, I believe, and it had somebody from Liberia on, or I'm not exactly sure where he was from, but he was the pharmacist who was working out of one of the hospitals where they're treating Ebola patients, and they said, "Sorry, you can't come here. We're not letting you go. We're not letting you dock here." So they're taking the cruise ship back to Texas. I mean, the people paid for a cruise, and they're they won't be out the money, but certainly the cruise line is going to be out the money, because they're going to have to refund all these people their money. Other countries, Felix was saying other countries have banned air traffic from West Africa, but what happens when you have somebody flying from West Africa on a Connect flight? I mean, what do you do when that person wants to get on another plane? Meanwhile, you have all these other passengers who've been exposed. I mean, it could really turn into a riot. Doesn't take much, you know.
Well,
Oh,
it's got to be contained in Africa, and problems got to be resolved in Africa. And then they have to go ahead and start, finding cure for it.
And I got to tell you, the first thing I really can find fault in Obama about is that this new Ebola czar that he has, he's not even a medical person. They have him overseeing this task force, and he's not a nurse, he's not a doctor, he's not a member of NIH, he's not even somebody with a background in public health, I don't think.
Who is it?
I don't know.
I didn't hear.
I heard some czar. I mean, I don't know. They put one in place yet, or are they going to?
Yeah, I think his name is Klain, Klane or something.
Huh.
This may turn out to be another one of those, when Bush went to Louisiana and he said, "Hey Brownie, you're doing a great job,"
Yeah.
because he appointed a friend to be head of FEMA, and the guy didn't know what the hell he was doing. Before that, he was breeding racehorses, So I don't know what this guy has to do with Ebola, but he's the new czar.
The new czar, huh?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You know what I think we should do? I just had another great idea. Did you hear about my idea last week, Dan? I said we should load Ebola bombs on the U.S. planes and drop them over ISIS. That's one way to take care of ISIS, and you don't have to worry. How
about just having all the Ebola patients become volunteer in their army?
Well, what I was thinking about is take all the congressmen and the senators who don't want to work together and give them an all-expenses-paid vacation to West Africa one way. Okay, not even round trip, one way. I guarantee you we'll start to get some reaching across the aisle before too long.
Yeah, it's just actually that news media just is talking on this Ebola crisis here, what they're calling it one. I don't know.
Well, it is a crisis. It's a world.
To me, it's another way our government just puts a scare into all this. It's another way to freak us all out.
Well, it is a crisis.
How Big Brother's watching us. To me, that's another little far-fetched for some listeners, but to me, it's another one of our government's tactics to put a nice scare on us.
Do you remember
how we need our government to watch us, and we need they make us want me believe that we need our government to protect us, and it's one thing after another, a big scare. That keeps us all going. While we need our government, our leaders to help us.
Well, look, I mean, let's face it. People who are talking, and obviously it's Tea Party mainly, but people who are talking about, get the government out of my life, blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is, until you need them, all right? Like they say, don't mess with my Social Security. Don't mess with my Medicare. Don't mess with my veterans' pension, okay? Make sure I go to the VA hospital and get what's coming to me as a veteran, But other than that, they don't want to know from the government, I mean, you can't just pick and choose.
And why not?
Yeah, of course.
Because you can't.
We all pick and choose. Unfortunately,
listen, the government, for the most part, you'll have to admit the government is, even with all the red tape and everything, and we usually complain about the government bureaucracy, but the bottom line is they are set up to help us, okay? I know that's one of the big three lies. I'm from the government and I'm here to help you, or I'm from the IRS and I'm here to help you, or whatever. But,
well, do you guys believe, they all still say, I think, that this country is the best in the world?
It is.
To be living in.
I agree, it is.
I mean, after all said and done, obviously there's definitely things to pick on in our society and our system, but I just wondered if you guys felt it still is the best in the world. to live in the United States.
Well, look, why is it that everybody wants to come here? All right, people want to study here. We've got the best universities, okay? As far as medical research goes, you know, the medical research begins here, okay? As far as our medical system is concerned, for the most people, you know, in Canada and in Europe, for the most part, they don't pay for it, and they get it free. It's just that there is a long waiting list. Unless you can prove that it's a dire emergency. You know, the best thing to have would be like dual citizenship between here and Canada. You know, if you're only going for an annual checkup, you can wait the year and then go to Canada and get treated for nothing and see all your doctors. And God forbid, if you have an emergency, you come back to the States and you see a specialist. You know, you don't have to wait 5-6 weeks, usually. Okay? And I stress usually. Sometimes there is a long wait. But let's face it, not everything is an emergency. You know?
Well, you know.
Yeah, it depends who you ask, and obviously, I mean, as a whole, I believe we are the best. I mean, again, you ask, someone up down south will be the best, or someone out east or the west coast, or, everything's isolated. Some areas are bad, like, for example, our system. Like for the guy that just came out of prison, I believe he was in New York, guy. He was 27 years behind bars.
Right.
He just got out today.
He was innocent.
Now, of course, this guy, if the United States the best, whatever criminal system or the best, I mean, of course, what is he going to say? And that's horrific what's happened to this guy.
But could you imagine
7 years in jail,
knowing
commit the crime?
Knowing that you're innocent, spending all that time in prison, okay, and no one wants to hear your case, no one wants to listen to your story, because the bottom line is, anytime those organizations come in, they used to, every prisoner says they're innocent. There isn't one guilty person in prison. If you listen to them all, they're all innocent.
Yeah, no, they all have their excuses, and everyone's innocent in there. But again, how does our system allow that to happen? I mean, his life is gone. You can't give him enough money to make him happy.
No, you can't. You can't give him back all those years.
But I can't imagine the tens of millions he's going to get, but he just lost his whole life behind bars.
The one...
It definitely depends who you ask, I mean, Florida might say they're the best state, this is the best country, and, we don't understand their state laws, it doesn't make sense to us. Having guns, meetings, and all that stuff, and they want to shoot somebody and get away with it.
Hey, look, as far as, being a believer in capital punishment or not, you have people who are such believers in capital punishment that they'll tell you, if there's a mistake and one innocent person is put to death for a crime he or she did not commit, they still want to see capital punishment because they claim it's a deterrent, okay? And it's not really a deterrent.
No, I don't think so either. Again, it's hard. That's capital punishment is hard, man. You say to yourself, I mean, I believe eye for an eye. You kill somebody, you're going to get killed. But, at the same time, I think that's what the statistic is. Every 100 person that goes death row, one of them, every 101 is what should have been there. I don't know if that still holds true, or I'm just making that up, but I thought it was something like that.
Do you remember there used to be a situation comedy called Maude on television? With B. Arthur?
I don't believe so.
All right, B. Arthur as Maude used to tell her husband Walter, when he would make some idiotic statement, she would say, "God'll get you for that, Walter." Well, that's what people are saying. Eventually we all have to stand before, God and answer for the things we did in life. So I would imagine
capital punishment is hard, and I guess it depends if your son or daughter was raped, killed, or murdered, or whatever it is, and you want that person to pay for whoever did it, no matter what the costs are, But if you don't go through that experience, it's hard to say if we're the best when these things do happen in our society. I mean, we think we have the best police force. New York State, the best police force is, claiming, but meanwhile, still these people